Good morning and welcome to episode 1249 of Hard Factor. It is Wednesday, July 12th, 2023. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80-ish% accuracy guaranteed. Today, I've got jokes, justice, mind-blowing discoveries, and more in your cup of coffee in the big time. Then Pat's got the movie that's sweeping the nation and Jim Caviezel on deck.
You know which movie I'm talking about. The one that they don't want you to see it.
Is it The Passion of the Christ? Did you become a priest when you were gone?
2. The Passion
2.0,
of the Christ.
right.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're looking very priest. You're looking very priest.
Christ has an attitude. Oh, are you
You're
talking
looking very fatherly.
Finally, I thought no one was ever going to notice the fact that I'm wearing a turtleneck that's short sleeved. I feel
Yeah. I just thought it was a really tight crew neck. Is that really
it's a short sleeve turtleneck?
Did you order that?
Yeah, it took six months to get here. I ordered it during the pandemic. This is the first time I'm wearing it. It's from
not a lot of
Land's End.
demand for that type of shirt.
Yeah, look, there's been many times in my life I've said to myself, like, well, traveling, I'll be sick tonight, turtleneck, and then popped on over to 7 stores to find that turtlenecks not often in stock. You really got to think
typically
ahead.
With sleeves though.
Well, it's like a shirt. It's like wearing it's like a condom, right? Like basically it's the equivalent of wearing a condom comfort wise. So if you don't have to, if you could wear a shirt without getting an STD, you probably would not wear a turtleneck, right?
How do you mean that it's like a condom?
It strangles your neck.
Yeah.
It comes out during sex or right before.
It just really strangles your neck, and it's so uncomfortable, and it's the worst type of necking.
It's a super uncomfortable shirt.
You
look pretty comfortable in it, but I'm confused about why no sleeves.
Oh, dude, because I went to go buy a turtleneck, and I saw they had one without sleeves.
Oh, this is like a comedy thing. Okay, I get it. I'm with that.
So I bought
Very
it.
funny.
All right.
Very funny.
What would you do? It is visually appealing.
Turtleneck is. I mean, it's hilarious. It's a shirt that makes absolutely no sense. Yeah.
Makes a lot
you know
of
what
sense.
it is? It's for people during the pandemic who only showed their heads, and so they could look very professional and then be wearing a short sleeve shirt.
Or like guys to that same point.
It's a Zoom shirt.
Guys, that same point, like wearing a jacket, so it looks like it's a long sleeve turtleneck. You're covering up your elbows. Any way that you can cover up your lower arms, it looks like it's a full turtleneck. Yeah.
Hey,
right, exactly.
Looks good. That's all you need to know.
Nice shirt, Pat.
Thank you.
And then Mark's got Burger King taking the crown for craziest fast food item of all time, potentially in the hole to bat us home today. So.
We're going to talk about some food items that are going to make you not want to have a turtleneck on when you're eating them. Yeah.
No, these are turtleneck busters.
Mm-hmm.
That's what these are.
They are. Right out.
Wes, he's not with us today. He's taking a day to take a break from his long streak of obsessively reading news about dead children and the trans community while working on this podcast. And so Wes is super committed to the dark roast coffee, as producer Eric pointed out, with a great meme. And then also listener Sam in the Discord also pointed out Wes's list yesterday. This was probably what he looked like watching us through the window as we read his dark stories in the coffee. Yeah, so hopefully he gets some rest, because he's been reading those stories obsessively, and hopefully he gets a little bit of R&R, a little close eye there. Yeah,
feels good to be back on YouTube too, boys.
Oh yeah,
that's right, back. Pat. That was the next item on the agenda. YouTube Live's back until we get kicked off again.
That's right.
Right. So here's the situation, guys. 3 strikes, you're out. They give you a strike, and then 90 days for that strike to go away. We were at 2 strikes. We had to say, hold our horses and cool out. That second strike went away. Now we just have 1 strike remaining. So as long as there's just 1 strike, right? As long as the count isn't full, so to speak, we're on YouTube, baby.
The count is not full, and the YouTube live comments are in full swing. Everybody's excited. Steve, Rad Dad, lots of anonymous. We're excited too.
Yeah, we're back.
We're back for now until we get kicked off again at Hard Factor News.
Twitter.
Also, reminder at Hard Factor News on Twitter. You can watch us live stream the show there as well, which is 8 p.m. Eastern, Sunday through Thursday, which of course ends up on Spotify and Apple Podcasts 24/5, 365, where you can watch it on Spotify. That's my favorite place to watch. Patreon.com/Hard Factor for more bonus content on top of that. 2 weekly podcasts if the Daily Show just isn't enough, plus the Discord chat. Leave us a voicemail at 512-270-1480 to hear it back on Friday's show, and also drop a 5-star review on Apple Pods if you want to hear that back on Friday's show during the High Five as well. So only the best voicemails are going to be played going forward. This is a challenge. We're throwing down the gauntlet. Bring us some content in there, some saucy questions, some hypotheticals. Give us something to work with. Okay, give us your best shot this week.
Yes, we love the High Five, as do a lot of people, but we're going to get a little stricter. So if the content isn't top tier, we're just going to either shorten the High Five that week, or we're going to talk about ourselves instead.
It's a challenge. Okay, it's a challenge. So hope you're up to the task. I know you are. Everybody in the Hardo Hive, you're the absolute fucking best.
Some new voices in there.
Yeah. You guys ready for the news though?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! Because I read a review today. Cleaning out the RSS.
Oh yeah, do you have that one?
Making sure we were on all podcast platforms.
Yeah.
And
I'll pull in David's comments real quick.
Yeah, I have it.
What's the name of that caster? What's the name of that?
Castbox.
Okay, it's called Castbox. Is it that important? At one point, we had 7,000 people following our show on there.
That's awesome.
I mean, how do we pretty big following on Castbox?
So
how do we get that?
When we left Barstool, we tried to
it.
get the RSS feed. They were non-responsive. So I just had it on my list of things to do, like go back through all the distribution platforms and see what cobwebs need to be cleaned out. I got us on some new platforms that really don't matter. Amazon Music is one of them, which does matter, which is great. But
here's one of our 7K listeners on Castbox.
Well, not anymore. This is David.
Yeah.
So
well,
whiskey.
I don't know if he really left, but he was mad on January 9th.
He said, "I will never listen to your bullshit again." That was the first comment. Whole new comment. This is quite possibly the gayest group of F words I've ever wasted my time on. And then Peter F. Lensing, which you got the button ready? You got the button ready? Peter F. Lensing says, "Will they ever talk about the news?"
Yeah, he doesn't like the long intros.
Will they? Will they ever talk about it? I don't know. Peter, are we going to do the news? It's 7 minutes and 33 seconds in.
Hit the button, Will.
Somebody have his finger right
hold on. There's a live comment coming in.
Well,
okay.
Find the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Cup of coffee in the big time.
That play for you guys?
Yeah. Big time.
Fantastic. Okay. Cup of coffee in the big time. All the trending news you need to know at the time of listening to this podcast, whenever that is. It doesn't even matter because it's that fresh. But first, a joke of the day, which is also news related. Okay. We're talking NATO Ukraine shot chaser here. Okay. So the NATO summit is happening this week. And I think President Biden skipped dinner as we were taping this. I don't know what else is happening, but here's what Zelensky of Ukraine said. His
dinner was 5 hours ago.
Right. Yeah. He had that for brunch.
Yeah.
And then his Metamucil. And then so here's what President Zelensky of Ukraine said, though. He goes, Forbes business breaking news. Zelensky criticizes NATO for weighing conditions to invite Ukraine into alliance. Unprecedented and absurd. So Zelensky was expecting to get his NATO status officialized at this summit, which did not happen. Nobody was like,
just take your cluster bombs, bud, and be content.
Yeah. So shot chaser. Here's the chaser. Tom M in the Discord server says, "I agree with Biden that Ukraine isn't ready for NATO membership. Just look at how they're using illegal cluster bombs."
Yeah, and that's not NATO worthy. Yeah,
it's unbelievable what they're doing over there.
I cannot believe he said that, dude. That's such a punk, bro. That's what a punk that is to Ukraine.
What do you mean? About when he was no, they're not getting in.
Yeah. It's not time for them yet. Maybe next year. Ukraine.
Well, he had to. I mean, look, it is what it is. He's escalating while not allowing. She's
like, can I start? Actually dating you? And you're like, no.
Hey, it is what it is. You know what, Pat? That military surplus isn't going to refresh itself, and I think that they smell a fresh battlefield for that. Speaking of President Biden, unfortunately for him, he is resorting to filing emergency stays and appeals in federal court in New Orleans this week. And if that fails, his last shot is the Supreme Court to delay the ruling from U.S. District Judge Terry Doughty that blocks the White House, FBI, HHS, and other executive branch U.S. government entities from directly demanding censorship from social media companies on posts that make them, uncomfortable and other stuff. Because, they started doing it because COVID and all that, but because it's illegal and directly in violation of the U.S. Bill of Rights, it's been overturned by a federal judge. And then now they're trying to, request emergency stays, appeals. Looks like they're pretty much just going to have to stop censoring posts they don't like now.
So what's the genesis of this?
Does that mean we get to stay on YouTube?
It's to stop disinformation. Is that the genesis of it?
Well, that's why they started it, Pat. That's why they started it. But now it's been ruled, unconstitutional by federal judges. And in other news,
fuckwads like us get to stay on YouTube.
Dude,
Mark,
I'll tell you what, Mark. Yeah, because I did a lot of research for my story coming up next, and there's some shit on YouTube
telling me
that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
We might get to stay on YouTube now.
Yeah, hey Mark, it's really interesting because in other news, it's great for us to magically have our Facebook monetization back this week after a year-long battle to reclaim it when it was taken away by Meta. Must have been all those letters from the Hardo Hive that finally did it on the same week of these rulings.
I can't wait to disinform everybody.
Oh my God. Better be careful, Mark. We only have 2 disinformation strikes before.
Just kidding.
I mean,
no agenda, YouTube. Guys.
I know we talked about it, but between YouTube and Facebook, Meta fucking taking away our monetization, like they shut down all potential growth for our business. Like all
for a year.
They shut down
and it was potentially
buying a home.
It was potentially orchestrated by people higher than them in the social hierarchy of this country.
Bread out of our mouths for really nothing we did wrong.
For making jokes. But justice.
I gotta ask you, how did it shake out?
U.S. District Judge Terry Doughty. Huh? How did it shake out? The White House they put in an emergency stay, an emergency appeal in federal court in New Orleans. And if that doesn't go their way, the last shot they have is to get an emergency stay or appeal from the Supreme Court, which is definitely not going to go their way. So they have 2 last breath shots. They're trying to keep censoring, but the court, it's looking not in their favor. Like I don't think they're going to be able to.
This stinks because the one thing I will side with, super conservative justices, who this woman is, or at least this court is like anything that potentially impedes on free speech. You got to be really careful about it. They can't fuck around with that shit. You can't fuck around. However, they got to figure some shit out about how, because misinformation,
right? Because AI,
we haven't even got a taste of it
going to
yet.
Be crazy, right?
There's a world-ending catastrophe that could be created by misinformation.
Something so disinformation right now.
I know, right?
You have the
power. I just want to test the waters.
You have the power again. I think we should. I think what we learned.
You don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I think what we learned.
So wrong.
So wrong.
We need to try to maybe not exercise the power when we have it, because then we'll lose it again.
Yeah. No.
Which I don't want to lose that.
Come back to the plate. Go work it out and come back to the plate for another bat.
Yeah.
Very happy with this judge who's
can't bunt with 2 strikes, which is what we found out on YouTube. We got 1 strike, we can bunt again. Can't bunt. Yeah.
You can, but you risk a foul ball and you're out.
Right.
Exactly. And nobody's saying it out loud, but it's definitely thanks to U.S. District Judge Terry Doughty in Louisiana. Nice. And more justice. Bank of America was ordered to pay over $250 million total to reimburse and pay fines for double dipping on overdraft fees and opening credit cards without customers' consent. So it's nice to see the justice system looking out for the little guy this week.
They got in on that too. It wasn't just Wells Fargo that was opening up credit card accounts for
BOA. They're not going to turn that down.
Man. I worked for BOA and people would come in with negative dollar amounts at the poor part of Austin that I worked in, just crying. And I was like, I have the power as a teller to wipe away 3 of these 15 overdrafts. You want me to get a manager? They're at negative 1,000. Yeah.
It's a $90 power.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
No, it was horrible.
No, it's horrible because they're like
horrible.
they're literally just like basically the people with the least money in society. They're
getting screwed,
like capitalizing on their
overdraft after
predatory.
overdraft. They didn't spend any money. They
kind of America.
They didn't pay their last overdraft, and after a week, it turned into a second overdraft and just compounded.
Well, that's the banking business, son.
They would come
Dude,
crying as
I came across a video in my algo, in my rhythm last night about a professor type talking about just the banking system in general, how it began with like gold vaults, right?
Dude,
so,
don't go. You want to watch Zeitgeist?
Yeah. Well, gold was too heavy to carry, dog. So like people would be like, oh, well, I got to keep it in a vault, and then the vault guys would issue a receipt for that gold, right? And then they were like, wait a minute, we can issue more receipts than gold that we have. I've never been more angry. I mean, it's like I'm sure some finance majors like, yeah, no shit, dumbass. But I was just like, holy shit, they're just creating money. They're loaning our money out. It's really pretty.
And then you can't get your money back because, Pat, they're taking your money and they're buying people's land and houses to make
talk about
money.
a rabbit hole.
And if you want to withdraw at the same time, you can't. The bank needs to be bailed out.
They don't want you to know about what's behind
all your money in the bank is actually just the bank's just using it to
it's wild.
Buy bigger, more shit. Yeah.
Did you guys see we're already over $1 trillion more in debt after they made it unlimited, no limit soldiers on the U.S. debt? It's crazy. Final justice, poetic justice today, guys. Joaquin Phoenix as Napoleon for Ridley Scott is the role he was born to play.
Is he short enough?
He's 5'8" in real life, which is the tallest short king. And I think that makes it acceptable. He looks
did you
fantastic.
Say he's going to play Ridley Scott?
No. In Ridley Scott's Napoleon. He is Napoleon in Ridley Scott.
That would be a fucking trip if he was playing Ridley Scott.
He's Napoleon.
No, Ridley Scott,
I heard you.
Pat, just coaxes the best performances out of Joaquin, like the crazy emperor in
right, Marcus Aurelius, or whatever. Yeah.
Maybe his best role to date. So
I was saying, because if he was playing Ridley Scott, someone would have to play Joaquin Phoenix in that movie. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's directing a version of Joaquin Phoenix playing, Joaquin Phoenix is directing a lookalike of him playing Napoleon.
No,
a real think piece.
Ridley Scott is directing his biopic, where Joaquin Phoenix is playing Ridley Scott. Obviously,
no. But David Lynch is directing that. You know what I mean? And then
Cover Gladiator.
That's like Schenectady, New York, right? Where it was the play inside the play, inside the play, inside the play. You're like, wait a minute.
No, I don't think it's that style. I think it's just like this, like the picture shows. It's Joaquin as Napoleon. Looks great in the tricorn hat or whatever it's called.
I didn't know there was like a bro culture around Napoleon. Like Lombard Trucking and Rick Holt and a bunch of guys on Discord are like, and they're awesome dudes. They're not like necessarily like Andrew Tate guys, but there's like a huge culture around Napoleon being the greatest dude of all time.
Well, Mark, the fun fact about the reason
he's a short king. That's why, because he's a short king that took what he deserved.
Napoleon, they're like bronies.
Short guys love him. French people love him. And on top of that, Mark, here is actually the real explanation of why that happened. Okay. Napoleon, fun fact, had a chronicler named Balzac. Balzac.
Balzac wrote all his shit in high regards.
Balzac's notes about Napoleon's speeches and
he was
all
always
the cool shit
hanging around him.
Yeah. Napoleon saved 13 kids from a burning bus again today. Balzac. Sure.
Yeah. That's a great point though, Will.
Yeah.
You gotta document your shit, bro. Like whoever's documenting, dog, is going to be the biggest figure in history.
Balzac didn't talk about the hundreds of thousands of civilians that were murdered because of the wars that Bonaparte was starting to try to conquer all of Europe like he was Bank of America. But it was because since he had the right morals, he's like Elon Musk starting a colony on Mars and only having it be around him. Napoleon had the best intentions, even though he started wars that killed millions and millions of people. So sure. Okay. He's a great guy. Sure.
Yep.
So
Mark, they say that the path to hell is lined with good intentions.
Okay. Fair enough.
Put that picture of Napoleon back up real quick.
Well, it's Joaquin, but he looks
No.
So much
I know, but hold on. My point is, William, what is missing from this photograph? What did Joaquin choose not to do in his role as Napoleon?
Well, he has his hand in his stomach. That's what
he's
he does.
not wearing a prosthetic nose, guys. He's just going
Napoleon
straight.
Had a prosthetic nose?
No, he had a nose that was so fucking big that 300 years later, 400 years later, a guy depicting him should be wearing a prosthetic.
Studies say that means he had a huge cock.
Right. Well, I mean, that means he was all cock.
I can say regret.
Oh, no. This picture of Napoleon is not right. Oh no! You want me to get this?
You found a bad pic of Napoleon?
You want me to get this caricature? Someone drew this. This is not right.
Oh,
Let me Google his religion first. So
yeah, oh my God, this is.
He's Catholic. Put it up.
Is it racist towards Corsicans?
It's racist. It's got to be. Something's wrong with it. It's coming
towards
up right
the French.
now. Just look at this nose,
he's like
dude.
a French Islander, though, isn't he?
What is this?
Oh no, that's a very racist photograph.
What is that?
That's not even a photograph. That's a painting.
I told you
it's a cartoon.
I told you it was a caricature.
Strike one.
That's disinformation right there.
That was not Napoleon, dude.
That's it says Napoleon with a long drooping nose.
You'll believe anything, Mark.
Dude, Balzac did not draw that picture.
No.
Anyways, this Ridley Scott joint with Joaquin drops on Thanksgiving. You're gonna want to see it. Trust me. I mean,
dude, I hope there's I hope this whole second act is him fucking shooting the nose off the Sphinx, dog, because of his own gigantic nose that he hated.
Yeah, he lived the epic life, Napoleon. I don't have any of the Napoleon like bro excitement about it, but I just know that
it's gonna be a good movie for sure.
Dude, one of my favorite roles of all time was Joaquin in Gladiator, directed by Ridley Scott.
One of the best movies of all time.
He's going to get it out of him again, hopefully. So
Ridley Scott, rarely misses. He's got some good ones.
He missed with the Duel, didn't he? Miss with that just came out.
Well, I mean, he did Aliens, Blade Runner, Gladiator. I mean, those are three of like the top 10 movies ever made. Blade Runner, the original. Gladiator and Alien. I mean, what? I'm going to give him a pass for life when you make three of the top 10 movies of all time.
Oh yeah, he's like James Cameron level,
and his forthcoming biopic.
He's like approaching a Spielberg, but he's not that level. But yeah,
those are three damn good movies.
Oh yeah, very good director. I can't wait to watch.
Gladiator 2, 2024. Will
really?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm
Gladiator
excited.
2 is coming out too. What a
Gladiator 2.
Whoa,
I mean, I'm excited.
Scott
He's having a big decade.
Yeah.
Okay, other sports and entertainment
the
news.
Martian?
The Martian's pretty good.
We got to move on. Yes,
all right.
With still more sports and entertainment, though. Yeah. Tyson Fury will be fighting Francis Ngannou after successfully ducking Alexander Usyk. Usyk defends his multiple heavyweight titles in a mandatory title defense fight against Daniel Dubois in Poland on August 26th. And the lineal heavyweight boxing champ Tyson Fury fights Francis Ngannou in a meaningless fight on October 28th in Saudi Arabia. So boxing, way too dramatic to see any of the fights that should ever happen at the time they should happen.
Yeah, don't you hate that?
Yeah. So the most dramatic sport potentially on planet Earth. So
what's the draw in the Ngannou versus Fury?
Nothing.
Like
nothing. People are
just
like,
not the
Dana
dudes
White's awesome. It's not that.
No,
cool.
Ngannou's a MMA fighter. He's the UFC heavyweight champion, and then his contract ran out. He's not a boxer. None of these
Nobody
UFC
wants
guys
to see
are boxers.
either of these fights.
They've
Nobody
never been
wants to
boxers.
see either of these fights.
No,
dude.
he has no chance against the one of the best, if not the best heavyweight, especially technical wise of all time. Tyson Fury could not get hit by Ngannou once in the entire fight if he didn't want to. He's gonna let him put on a show, but it's just a carnival act. It's a joke.
And he ducked Usyk, so Usyk has a right to be pissed. It's ridiculous.
It's Logan Paul's fault.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it's like that style. It's like Logan Paul versus what's his name, Floyd Mayweather.
Or Connor. Yeah, exactly. You're right. The Paul brothers could be them. Anyways, dramatic, way too dramatic. Boxing, though, Pat, been dramatic forever. This shit has happened for a long time. Look at what Mayweather did with his career. Speaking of drama, are Harry and Meghan breaking up?
Ooh.
I kind of ignored this.
He's dumping her finally?
He's traveling to Africa alone without her right now. That's what
fine.
Reports say.
He's been doing that, Will. He goes to that's his happy place.
Well, Pat, she just announced that they won't be doing any more press together because that's the official word from the publicist. And the rumor mill is swirling, fellas.
Well,
I don't really care. I thought it was interesting.
So the publicist wouldn't have put that out the whole time. The publicist would not have put that out in that way. So the publicist theoretically knows what they're doing, right?
And that was a couple weeks ago, right? And so that's why people are like, and now he's traveling alone. People are like,
smells like a reality show.
Oh, what if it's a setup for it? Yeah, but
like, we're not happy with each other.
We don't need more from them. If you guys are that seriously committed to charity, just go do that.
We'll see. I don't know.
Royal breakup.
I think it would be fucking nuts, dude. If Meghan Markle basically destroyed the royal.
Who's okay? So if
That'd be
if Prince Harry is
tough for
Jordan,
Harry.
right, and
it would be
Meghan
nuts.
Markle is Larsa Pippen, who's Jordan's kid, right? Who would
nobody?
who would ruin Harry to
No
come
one yet.
in?
But
Yeah.
Nobody yet.
Or Prince Harry's Pippen in this scenario, I think.
I don't think he's
Prince
got
William's
any
oldest
close
son.
enough
Does he have a
buddies.
kid?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. If William
Google
has. She marries another royal. She gets with Prince Andrew after this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you never know. It's Meghan Markle. Powerball is up to $725 million.
Whoa,
Elizabeth Holmes.
Where's Wes been on that? Are we doing the lottery?
Now we know why he's off.
Watch, he hasn't
yeah,
fucking
we
texted
should.
all day today. You think I'm gonna get one out of him?
Dude,
He's playing
send him
one
a
round on
message.
his own. He's playing one
yeah.
round alone.
Yeah. He's trying to get one in on his own. Tell him to get the group hard factor pot going. He said he would do it after.
Elizabeth Holmes from Theranos got her prison sentence reduced by 2 years on the same day that Charles Manson follower Leslie Van Houten was released from prison, which is fucking weird. Just like the opposite of those other good rulings, probably.
She's
Van Houten.
gullible.
Van Houten.
Houten.
Well,
Yeah,
she killed
they-
two people, so I feel
Milhouse.
like I don't have to pronounce it correctly.
No, I wouldn't. I normally wouldn't correct you, but only because Millhouse
I was just
is
following
named
Manson.
after her. It's time for her to get out.
Thank you. Good
She's
correction.
been there a long time.
Yeah, well, 2 murders will do that.
I think 2 murders should be forever, but
What did Roman Polanski have to say? Did he any comment from that?
I did not dig into the comments.
Child
on
banger?
that one.
No?
yeah, he was. Where was he found at a playground for comment?
Not in the United States because he
Yeah.
fled.
A French playground.
Mhm.
Yeah, did not dig into that. Okay, craziest of all potentially in the entertainment world. Microsoft beat the Federal Trade Commission and was allowed to purchase Activision Blizzard, meaning that we'll all own Xboxes soon enough, since Sony now has almost no exclusive franchises, and Xbox can mash up Halo, Call of Duty, and whatever else they want because they own every franchise. And then all they have to do in exchange, what the judge ruled, is license Call of Duty to PlayStation for 10 years. So is this rest in peace Sony PlayStation?
So, what's the longest lasting game franchise? Super Mario Brothers. That was a stupid question. Apologies.
Which Nintendo for the first time beat Sony in sales in Japan recently. So,
Damn.
it's
What's
bad
a game
for Sony.
franchise? But that's a character-driven game franchise, whereas Call of Duty is not a character-driven game franchise. Can you guys think of a Metal Gear Solid? Right, that was huge for a while.
Well,
Is that
Final Fantasy, which is PlayStation exclusive, came out with Final Fantasy 16 this week.
they have that, and they have Marvel on
yeah.
PlayStation, and then
Final Fantasy's
Xbox
seen
has
better
everything
days, but
else.
I guess what I'm
Fantasy-
asking is, 10 years from now, will Call of Duty be still a banger? Right, when it can
Probably.
just
I mean,
be exclusively on
Warcraft, which they
Xbox.
have, Diablo, which they have, Call of Duty, which they have, StarCraft, Candy Crush, Overwatch. All of those have been bangers for quite a few years.
Well, do they also have an exclusive with Bethesda?
Yeah, they also have exclusive with Bethesda.
And that's Skyrim and Starfield. Like those,
Starfield.
That's
all going Xbox only.
I'm a PlayStation. I'm a Sony guy, but that's tough. That's tough,
Dude, there's no games left.
And I
I mean,
feel like-
me too, Mark. I think that they're better like machines, but I'm gonna
Sony's getting fucked because of Nintendo. That's the situation. Because Nintendo just kept doing its own thing, and they put out
But
that
they're
Zelda
getting
game, which is
squeezed
the
out.
best game ever made. No, Nintendo's never going to get squeezed out. That's my point. Sony,
Right. Sony will.
Microsoft wouldn't have been able to do this if Nintendo hasn't been crushing it on its own terms. Because they're always like,
Yeah,
well, look
you're
at
right.
Nintendo over there. You know what I mean?
True
You could
front
just
war,
be
Pat.
Nintendo, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft waited it out. They played the long game. They got made fun of for a while. They played the long game. They're buying these huge franchises,
Dude,
Oof.
and they're crushing AI right now. They're like leading the AI game tremendously. Microsoft might be back, bro.
I would say they are back.
Well, I
yeah.
mean, they definitely are. They're like one of the top. That's one of the biggest companies in the world for sure, and it has been for a while.
Apple's the
But
biggest
now,
company in the world. Apple's the
Well,
biggest company in the world.
I believe that Microsoft is number 2. I said one of the and
I think the Saudi oil company would like that.
Aramco. Those are the top
Yeah.
3. Yes, big company gets even richer. Huge win for them. PlayStation, I think, could be fucking breathing a flat breath.
Tiller wants to know: is Grand Theft Auto that's multi-platform?
It's not exclusive.
Right? That's not exclusive to anyone. Yeah,
it's PC.
Rockstar.
So there are developers.
PlayStation might want to go after Rockstar.
Right, there are developers that still license to all the systems, but it's not Xbox.
Like
is
Gun
buying
Media.
a lot of them out.
Like Gun Media, who has a game coming out August 18th on
right,
all three platforms, PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So
I played it.
Look, Mark played it, and the review was swimming from him. He really enjoyed it.
I did not win, but I was the last to die in my group.
So you just go pre-order that now.
It's like a win.
Pre-order.
A studio that ships to all platforms.
That's right. That's available no matter where you play. I still play on PlayStation. No hate. I'm just saying, probably going to move to Xbox with all this shit. Okay, before we hit the cream, let's rewind about 18,000 years back to a time when some group of humans roamed Oregon with camels, potentially on camelback, and carved up bison with stone weapons and tools that they have recovered. And a new set of findings coming in since 2012. They've been finding these things from Rimrock Rock Shelter, which is near Riley, Oregon, only 300 miles from my front door in Reno. These things they're finding predate the eruption of Mount St. Helens, which is 15,000 years ago. The camel teeth that they found with the tools are at least 18,250 years old, meaning that like cold hard carbon dating puts these presumably humans hunting big game animals with crafted weapons and tools from stones and using camels in North America over 10,000 years before any recorded history ever took place in ancient Samaria. So it totally blows the lid off of everything that prehistoric, scholars had thought before. And so this is at least 3,500 years before the prevailing theory of humans migrating from Africa even says that humans arrived on the continent of North America. It's 10,000 years before the end of the Ice Age, roughly. It
sounds like to me the Native Americans killed those people off.
Oh, big time.
Well, the Clovis people before the Native Americans killed these people off. How far back does it go?
Does Ben and Jerry's know about this?
Yeah.
Good question.
Good point, Mark.
Yeah. Wes texted back, what jackpot? First text we got from him all day.
What jackpot? By the way, this one tooth looks like a molar I got going on. I need to go see a dentist.
Well, those are rocks. If your teeth
the
look
one
like
rock,
those rocks,
one rock looks like one of my back molars.
You got to go to the dentist.
I was like,
sure.
this is coming in a little crooked, and that's got to be a cavity. Did a little
I'm dodging my dentist now. I'm dodging her.
Did a little Google imagery on what like cavities and stuff look like, and I was like, oh boy, I should see a dentist.
You think you want a dentist, like you think you want one, and then you get one that's bad, and then you don't want one. It's like
you
need a dentist.
I was googling like
we all have tooth pain right now.
I was not in pain, luckily not yet, but it's got to be soon. And I was googling like affordable dentist and non-judgmental dentist because.
So I was gonna say Eastern Bloc, which is what I was saying. Go to a dentist who's from a former country in the Soviet Union.
I googled United Kingdom dentistry too, because
that's more.
Yeah, that's an old rumor.
I can understand them. No, they just started brushing in the 90s.
Wow.
Yeah,
pretty sure. 80%.
Well, they better keep brushing because they're still alive. You know what I mean? And they don't want to have hurting mouths. I have a tooth that hurts so bad, and I'm pretty sure it's just gonna fall out eventually. But
yeah, I think this one's going to come out, I think.
I keep trying to brush it harder, but it only hurts more. When you think that you're just going to like tough it out and then you keep picking at it and brushing at it and it just hurts worse,
Soft bristles is what they tell you at this age. Well, I'll tell you what, though. Speaking of other videos that popped up in my algorithm, and I know that, like sometimes you come across a video that's like medical, but it looks too close to the production that you see on like a advertisement before a porn that you're about to watch. Yes. And you're like, it looks medical, but it's got that porn tinge. It's not medical. I saw a video about the ability to regrow teeth, right? A future technology.
No, okay, future technology.
This just can't be true, right? There's just no way.
Future, I believe it.
What could go wrong?
Today, no.
Right. I mean, like immediately that day I was like, candy, no brush, because I figured, it's gonna happen. But I don't think that's true, man. I don't think people would do that.
I don't want to talk about the teeth anymore.
Yeah, let's move on.
Oh yeah, Mark. This what I'm hurting is right where you kicked me, right in the tooth where I got that hole.
I thought you already got that tooth removed.
I got it filled, but I think the filling fell out. Now I'm going to need
been milking this for 15 years.
Oh yeah.
Well, Yeah. Anyways, crazy stuff. Okay. Everything you've been taught in your entire life from school about prehistory is completely fucking wrong. It turns out, pretty much. So, moving on to
the cream of the crop.
And guys, what do you think this man's crime is?
He looks like he's pantless right now. So
he clogged a toilet.
Yeah, shitting or jerking off.
Okay.
Or he wasn't supposed to.
You're right around it, Mark.
Yeah.
Middle school around his neck? What does it say? He got a lanyard?
Oh,
no.
Pat, good eye.
Jesus, can you imagine that guy in a turtleneck short sleeve shirt? That would not go well.
Commitment to something. Commitment to something middle school.
Okay. Yeah.
You're right, Pat. That is 55-year-old middle school principal, former Daniel Erickson of Johnson City Elementary Middle School in New York State.
The only public elementary school with a wrestling program.
He used to be skinnier. He's gotten thicker, so he looks definitely like a wrestling coach now. Yeah, but you know what he did, guys. I couldn't possibly do a better job of telling you about them than how News 12 of WBNG did. So I'm just gonna give it to them.
School principal has been arrested.
Police say 55-year-old Daniel Erickson is facing the felony charge of luring a child and a misdemeanor charge of attempted rape in the 3rd degree.
We start with our Kevin Quinn, who was at the Broome County Sheriff's Office, where they held a press conference about this earlier today. Kevin?
Is he the child that was assaulted?
Sheriff Fred Akshar credits both the Broome County Sheriff's Office as well as the Johnson City School District for their quick reaction after first learning about the suspicious behavior of middle school principal Daniel Erickson.
First assignment?
The Sheriff's Office
Well, son, you can't cover this story.
Communicating with a 16-year-old female student via Snapchat, making statements and overt actions to indicate he was going to engage in sexual conduct with the minor. Akshar says items brought by Erickson to meet the minor gave indication of his sexual intentions.
List them.
It's important to note that part of those overt actions, Mr. Erickson brought with him a Grimace Shake from McDonald's, chicken nuggets, and a box of condoms. The communication between Erickson and the minor had been taking place for approximately 1 week.
Erickson was arraigned at the Broome County
Don't grimace.
Facility, where he was
But
taken to the facility.
This is like the equivalent of buying like a 4-pack of wine coolers, but they're so young that they chicken nuggets and a milkshake. Jesus Christ.
As well as gained attention
Tell me he didn't get the toy.
God.
Did he get the toy with a Happy Meal?
Oh my God. This is literally the equivalent of like buying like a teenage girl like wine and then, you know, like in the Predator, How to Catch Predator. What do you have in the bag? Wine.
Oh, he got
coolers.
caught. Yeah, he got caught. How to Catch a Predator style. And so what happened there, fellas, is that the groomer, Principal Daniel Erickson, he finally struck when this one hit high school because she was not in his school anymore, I guess. And he set it up like he started by catfishing her into thinking that he was younger than he was. And then he revealed who he was. But then she told the cops. And so then the cops started watching as he would drive over to her house every day trying to bang, and he would just sit in the front of like on the street, and she wouldn't come out of the house. And then they told him to meet her at a field, and then he showed up with his Trojans, his Grimace milkshake, and his nuggets, trying to fuck. But no, he got arrested.
Were they for him though? Was the Mc Happy Meal for him?
No, dude.
No.
You know who the
he was
Grimace
trying to
Shake
fill
is
her
for.
up, and then he was trying to fill her up.
It's just unbelievable. He thought that the Grimace Shake was going to help seal the deal.
Well, he's been on Snapchat, dude. He's been on Snapchat. He's a 52-year-old man on Snapchat, and he's seen the Grimace trend happening, and he's thinking to himself, you know what she'll love, and maybe I don't know, maybe we should go crazy on it.
Yeah,
if I give her the Grimace Shake.
Pat, maybe he was like, "Are you ready to make the darkest Grimace Shake video yet?"
Yeah, I mean, he probably had some lines. It was an elaborate scheme, catfishing her into thinking he was a younger dude, and then revealing that he's the principal who still wants to bang her.
56.
Yeah, very strange.
Can you get a still image up with that audio of the cop? You know,
of the cop.
Yeah, of the press conference. You know
The
something
cop
about
that
him?
did the press conference. Yeah.
Yeah. Check out his facial hair. He's got kind of like a Wolverine thing going on.
Does
it looks,
he?
Looks intentional. If you can bring up the video, just like kind of get a still image of him.
No,
Yeah.
it's just the way that his goatee is colored.
No, that looks intentional. He shaved.
That's
He
just
he filed it down, and then he's got
Mark. He has
gray,
2 gray spots on his goatee. Check
and
when
then
he
the
moves.
mustache is dark.
No, check when he moves. It's just a goatee. He's got gray spots on the edges of it.
On both perfectly. It looks like
Yeah. It's just how his
like,
beard is gray.
I thought he was going for like a Wolverine.
That's just how God made him, Mark.
That is. He looks like Wolverine naturally, which is pretty fucking
that's
cool.
pretty cool.
Was this dude the principal at her school? Probably, right? Or is that too?
He was before, and then she was
elementary school
this time. He's the principal of the elementary middle, and then this girl was in high school. She was 16 when he finally struck. And so he kept an eye
on her.
I mean, I'm sure he saw her growing up. Plus, like a bunch of parents and teachers were like, "I'm not surprised. This dude's a creep." So
he's got to have been thinking about how to overcome that first interaction, because especially if he was the principal at her school, he's got to know in the back of his mind, like, okay, I'm pretending to be someone younger, and then I'm going to meet her, so she's going to be shocked. Okay, hence Grimace Shake, and I'll get the McNugs.
That'll cool her down.
This will lighten the mood.
Right, but that's a huge pill to swallow.
You're going to want to scream, but take a sip of this first.
It'll be hilarious when
we're
laughing
about the
Grimace Shake.
No. I know. Hold on, though. Look what I got in the bag.
Hey, whoa.
You might
You're
be nervous.
Absolutely right to be shocked. But,
I know you had a birthday recently. So did Grimace. Okay.
Oh man. Okay. Well.
He's in jail.
Anyways, nice work.
Get him out of here.
Nice work by the detectives and the girl. I gotta say, way to go in New York. They're busting the Grimace Shake pedo principal.
Did you ever finish the Harry Potter series? Or what's
things are going kind of south here. That's why I brought the Grimace Shake just in case.
You thirsty? It's hot here.
I brought a drawing you did in 2014.
Right. Yeah. Remember Art Week?
He could have.
This is you
saving this.
Look, this is you hugging me, saying that I was your favorite principal.
Yeah, good thing he was caught. That guy's a severe creep, Daniel Erickson.
Kill him.
And, but they're saying like, technically no crime, blah blah blah. They're saying like investigation, but come on, he got caught red-handed.
Yeah.
And good thing he did. And that good news was brought to you by BIRDDOGS this week and every week during Fat Boy Summer. Go to birddogs.com/hnews to get a free tumbler with your order of the best men's clothes on planet Earth. Literally, they do polos now. Already had the best shorts and pants. birddogs.com/hnews. Get a free tumbler with your order.
Get yourself a pair of BIRDDOGS for real, man. I'm on my third season of BIRDDOGS, and they wear just like the first season I wore them. There's no wear tear. They're so well made. They're fantastic.
I'm wearing a pair now. I wore them earlier. I was slanging
makes 3 of
Uber
us.
Eats all day, and then like they're so versatile. You can wear them to work, then you can wear them to play.
Pretty good. Pretty
All
good.
day long.
Guys, let me tell you something about actors. They're fucking idiots. And I don't mean that in the sense that they're necessarily dumb. They're not dumb people. Some of the smartest people in the world are actors.
They got to memorize shit. They got good memorization.
There are some very smart actors, is what I meant to say.
They're
Paul
manipulative.
Giamatti, for example, right? He went to Yale. His father was the president, but he went to Yale, Natalie Portman, she went to Harvard, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She happened to go at the height of her fame, taking a break, but she went to Harvard. Lots of smart people are actors, but when you get near an actor, when you start really digging in with an actor, and I'm not talking about having beers, I'm talking about being around them when they're trying to do their career thing. A lot of times you're like, holy shit, these guys are fucking dumb. And that goes for actresses too. I call actors both male and female actors. I call them actors.
Thank you, Pat. That's very progressive of you. You know that like half the set of Modern Family were Mensa people.
Yeah, no, they're very smart. That's not my point. They're just fucking dumb.
Half the dumfies.
Yeah, they're fucking dumb. Mark is my point. They're just ridiculous. They're stupid. They're self-absorbed. I used to want to be an actor, and look, acting's fun. The act of it. I don't want to be an actor anymore.
You are not the only person who has this assessment of actors. I've heard this. Certainly
I would like
from
to
LA
act,
people.
But a straight pursuit of think about this. Think about what an actor does, right? If you want to go be a pro actor, you essentially need to wait for someone to give you a job to do the thing that you love to do, and it might be on some show that you fucking hate.
Yeah.
Right. But you're
for the love of acting, though.
Right. It's for the love of acting. No, it's for the love of fame. Well, it's for the love of attention.
You're right. I mean, that is what it comes down to. That is, actors are, professional. I want to be on camera.
But isn't that why you wanted to be an actor too, Pat?
I want to be an actor because I got really into the. Part of it was fame, part of it was attention, part of it was the process of filmmaking. I thought was very cool. But then I got into acting a little bit. I liked acting, I like performing. Which is,
but also some people are really good at it too. Like you got to say, like some people are just a knack at it, and that's how
that freak Joaquin Phoenix.
He's so fucking good at it, but not a good hack. I guarantee you that.
A lot of people, like character actors, like a career character actor, dude, you got to be in it because you want to get your name out there and do a lot of acting.
Or
like
you want to get your dick
really
sucked
have to love it.
Cash in a big check.
I'll put it this way, guys. There's never a time in my life where I've had an issue while making a film or heard about an issue from a friend making a film that had anything to do with anyone other than an actor. They don't want to come out of their trailer. They don't like this idea. They're mad at me. They got hurt.
They're the talent.
Fucking soft. They're the talent.
Well, most of them, Mark, aren't even going to be that rich. Like there's a lot of struggling actors.
Profession-wise, I think that outside of musician, actor slays the most. You go to anywhere to a bar,
slays the most poon.
He slays the most poon. Yeah, lays it down.
Gets the most cut up.
Yeah,
probably so.
You go into a bar and 10 guys that look exactly the same.
Yeah.
They look exactly the same. They have the same personalities. You could run a test, and they tell the women these are their 10 professions. They make the same amount of money. Musicians getting laid the most frequently. Actors second most frequently. Everyone else in the dust.
Pro sports is going to be
sports could be sports could be up there.
It might be above one of those two, but yes, it's good. Those are going to be the top three, pretty much.
Firemen are up there too. Anyway, look, that was just a preface. It was a preface to my story. Have you guys seen The Sound of Freedom? Have you seen The Sound of Freedom?
No, but that is Passion of the Christ Part 2, right? That's the Mel Gibson's.
Not exactly.
Okay, so it's not a direct sequel, but it's.
I'm not surprised you guys haven't seen The Sound of Freedom because
I don't even know what it's about.
They don't want
only
you to see it, right? Mark. They don't want you to see The Sound of Freedom. That's probably why you haven't seen it.
No, I did see Mel Gibson and Dana White talking about this.
Yeah, you saw Mel Gibson. Here, Sound of Freedom, guys, is based on a true story.
It's already. Yeah,
it's based on a true story.
Sex trafficking
of Tim Ballard. Tim Ballard, who was a U.S. Department of Homeland Security agent who investigated pedophiles. Okay, he later Ballard did an anti-trafficking group called the OUR, or the Operation Underground Railroad. And he's a Fox News contributor. Donald Trump gave him a position on a federal advisory panel on human trafficking, and it's his story, right? So it's about I haven't seen the film. I just saw the trailer.
His career and findings. It's like a detective writing about detective stuff. He's writing about child trafficking.
Right. It's about a guy that's going to go chase down the pedos, right?
Nice.
And The Sound of Freedom, I'm assuming, is going to be the pedos.
Is it
crime.
The shot? Is it? Yeah, it's like when the bullet leaves the gun into the pedo's head.
Yeah.
Kids are free now. You're welcome.
That's what he says. You're free now. After.
I like how you're laughing, guys, and you think this is a joking matter. It's not a joking matter, okay? People are
sex
crying.
trafficking's not funny.
People are crying in the theaters.
No, but I'm saying, like, does he say after he kills the pedophile, is it that's the sound of freedom? You're welcome.
We'll have to go and watch the movie.
Oh, you haven't seen it.
To
and
find
is it
out.
Arnold Schwarzenegger saying it?
No, guys, it's a very serious movie. Okay, it's a very serious movie about child sex trafficking. Okay, it's a really interesting movie too. Okay, because it's an independent film. It's an independent film. Some say the budget's somewhere around $14 million. That's an independent film these days. Okay, it was originally either produced independently or produced by Fox Studios, but when Disney acquired Fox back in 2018, it got shelved along with like 200 other movies.
Classic Hollywood
Hollywood
trying to bury this shit.
Trying to shut Mel Gibson down.
Yeah. Do you know why? Yeah, because they don't want you to see it.
They wanted to fuck kids still.
Because they don't look. Yeah, they spent the money. They read the script. It went into long stages of pre-production, and then they made it. Okay, but then they saw it. And they said, "We can't let them see this because if they see this, they'll know that we are fucking children and sex trafficking them across the globe."
Oh wait, does it say that Disney's doing it?
Oh, well, you'd think that Disney would. It's a little bit suspicious, right, Will? Because Disney's a kids' company, right? You'd think they'd care about kids' rights, right?
Who's trafficking these kids, Pat?
Oh, well.
That gets shot, and then the guy's like, that's the sound of freedom.
The elites are. The pedo rings, Will, you know that.
Have you seen the movie, Pat? Who's trafficking?
No, I haven't seen the movie. But Jim, how do you say this guy's name? Jim Cazavell, he played JC, Jesus Christ, in The Passion of the Christ. He's the star, guys. And as I said, it's a super unique movie, low budget. Guys, it's #1 at the box office Monday. It knocked off Insidious Red Door, which I'm sorry, Jason Blum from Blumhouse is probably pissed off about.
Well, I mean, dude, like, you guys remember The Passion of the Christ, how big of a rage that
faith-based movie.
People were, dude, churches were going by the truckload to that thing. That thing was filled every Sunday, every show, and packed to the gills. I mean, like, it's going to be the same with this. Yeah, it's going to be the same with this.
We're going again, guys.
When Mel makes the film,
all you need to do is
go.
Look, slap a few crying kids on it. Maybe even like a golden retriever on the promo.
Put an eagle screeching.
Yeah, but the dog frees a few of the kids in one scene.
Like Mel didn't make the movie, but Mel did say in 2018 that Hollywood elites feast on the blood of children. Yeah. And look, there's always here's what we can all agree on. Pedophiles are terrible. There's no doubt about it. There's no fucking doubt about it. And
there's definitely a ton of sex trafficking,
100%.
Human trafficking in the world that goes
100%.
on. People get kidnapped in the United States and trafficked.
100%.
If you're not,
you're just talking about Grimace creep trying to traffic kids in his
definitely a lot of sex trafficking going on. That's not okay.
Doubt.
I don't necessarily know if it's all in Hollywood. I think it's all over the place, but yeah.
Hey, well, I mean, mostly in Hollywood, but elsewhere it's happening too. And look, there's nothing wrong with making a movie about sex trafficking and it's woes, right? And a hero based on a true story who's actually running these people down. Look, and it's not for me to say. Vice did an investigation into the man Tim Ballard, who the movie's based on, and apparently his OUR, the Operation Underground Railroad, misreports facts. That's okay. That's not what it's about. A movie's a fucking movie, right?
They need a budget. They need to be like,
And this is a hit. This
also,
movie's a
smash. Be a vigilante, you're going to have to break a few rules even in your own mind. So you're probably going to have to lie to yourself and everybody else all the time in order to keep committing crimes against crimes.
He's kind of like Nick Nolte's character in Tropic Thunder, like with the explosions, where he went faked it a little bit,
to embellish,
might be a little bit embellished, okay. And look, it's a fucking smash. These guys are they're fucking stoked. They're making so much money. There's a studio called Angel Studios, right? Essentially negotiated the deal because Fox announced in 2020 that they were going to release every movie that got shelved. Just you got to work the fucking deal out. So Angel. But I mean, that's the story that the media published, according to the filmmakers and Jim Caviezel. How do you say it? Caviezel.
Caviezel.
Doesn't matter.
Caviezel.
According to these guys, they didn't want it out. Okay, it had nothing to do with the merger. They didn't want it out. But Angel Studios, they're based in Provo, Utah. They got together 7,000 angel investors. That's clever. Crowdfunded it. Raised $5 million, right, in exchange for revenue sharing to help market The Sound of Freedom.
And got fucking some bucks back.
Genius marketing plan. They have a pay it forward campaign where it's essentially like, is there someone that needs to learn about child sex trafficking? You buy them a ticket. You pay it forward to them. Great, genius marketing opportunity. You buy them a ticket, right?
Dude, look, that's just like why it's crushing. That's amazing.
It's crushing. It's also playing on the fears of everyone, worried about child sex trafficking. But yes,
but somebody sends me a ticket to a Mel Gibson joint. I'm going. I don't even care if he didn't make it. He supports it strongly.
Mel Gibson.
Can we just refer to it as a Mel Gibson joint from now on?
It's a Mel Gibson joint.
Thank you.
Right. In Mel we trust, right?
You're gonna keep running into this roadblock. We're pretty convinced it's a Mel Gibson joint.
I mean, who made this besides Mel Gibson?
Yeah. I saw him talking. Dana White passed the baton to Mel Gibson in the one promo, but I forgot. He was like, and I'd like you to listen to Mel Gibson right now. I was like, holy shit, is this happening?
It's an important issue that people are taking as fact. It's an important issue. There's no doubt about it. Okay. Look, it's
Let me tell you about this movie.
It's a fucking smash. It's a fucking smash. There's no doubt about that. It's fucking great. Okay. It's absolutely great. Now, some people have been saying, like the media, right? First of all, that they don't want you to see it. Okay, that's actually more of a rumor on TikTok. Like, there's been rumors that AMC theaters have been turning the AC off on screenings, right? to make sure those who want to see it can't get in. Yeah. But the media,
my Bud Heavy's starting to sweat. Oh wait, sorry, no, my Coors Light's starting to sweat.
The media is saying that you shouldn't go see it. It's QAnon adjacent. They're making up all these lies about being QAnon
turning
adjacent.
Up the heat on our pedophile operation. We're going to turn the heat up in here.
Exactly right. Get those pedophile hating, freedom loving motherfuckers the fuck out of the theater.
But Pat, don't you see, like, even if it's all complete bullshit, which I mean, it sounds like a lot of it's very, very exaggerated to bullshit, right? So, but even if it is, but the fact that you're playing it in movie theaters, makes it so it doesn't matter if they fuck with you.
Nothing
that's
been played in a movie theater has been exaggerated.
They are protecting Hollywood.
That's also classic Hollywood. Like, you know,
Right.
you embellish.
They don't
you take
know
a
that.
true story and you make it like a based on
great.
a true story and you make it like fantastical.
Dude, I'm fired up for them.
Hoisted on their own petard.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like
I one
Pumpkin
time-
Hollywood twice.
By Mel.
I had a conversation with one of the dumbest guys I've ever met in my life, an actor, and he was telling me about a movie he wanted to make, and he told me the last movie he worked on grossed $40 million. And I said, what movie did you work on? And he's like, it did. Guess what? Faith-based movie. You can make a lot of cash.
Dude, churches.
Dude.
they go
They're smack.
because
Dude, Dennis Quaid switched to like only faith-based movies because they're probably paying him like $50 million a pick. Like Dennis
So did
Quaid,
Jim
Dennis-
Caviezel.
Yeah, Jim did the same thing. Dennis Quaid just gets on he's always in like a plane. He's always flying like a small plane that he learned how. He's a pilot and a dog owner and and a family man.
It's every Dennis Quaid
And then
movie.
Dennis Quaid gets $20 million. He had
That's
like a
been-
near-death experience. And
You
he's
don't
got
even
a
need
dog and
AI
a
to
small
write it.
plane.
Done.
Script's done.
Done. Anyway, look, the liberal media has been
does it in a
saying
week.
Yeah.
the liberal media has been saying don't go see this movie because it's QAnon adjacent. And you know what? That's a fucking lie. And I'm going to show you a clip from the liberal media lying to you. I do want to say right before I get into these clips that when you're marketing a movie, you go through a very, very precise process where you give the actor, right, who's mostly going to do your press, talking points related to the film. I mean, it's very, very coordinated. It's very coordinated. It's very coordinated. Anyway, here's first some of these bullshit. Well, it's conservative media outlets talking about these liberal media bullshits. Here's one from Valuetainment. It's a YouTube channel, 4.46 million subs. This video, the first one is titled "Why Hollywood Elites Don't Want You to Watch The Sound of Freedom." Just to give you a taste. So here we go, guys.
About this, if you know which one I'm talking about, where the CNN is asking a question. So what do you think about this movie? You know, there's a lot of people that are saying that there's some right-wing QAnon, you know. What do you think about this?
But for some reason,
another video.
CNN wants to brush it off as some sort of tinfoil hat theory. But for some reason, they see the movie and relate to those pedos being arrested. So of course there's this huge media movement trying to discourage you from seeing the film, with Rolling Stone saying the movie is for dads with brain worms, and The Guardian calling this a QAnon-adjacent thriller trying to stop child traffickers in a paranoid movie.
So why would they say that? It makes no fucking sense. Oh my god, I found this clip
Unless
from the Charlie
kids.
Guys, I thought when I saw this clip from the Charlie Kirk show on Twitter,
Idiots are exposing themselves.
I knew I had to play it. Here's the star of the film, Jim Caviezel, right? And I thought, maybe, I can't believe he said this shit on Charlie Kirk. No, this is his talking point on every single piece of media that he's done. He's done about 40 shows. He's done all the big conservative ones. This is just a taste. He's repeating the same stuff every interview.
The media is trying to smear the film, call it QAnon adjacent, seducing America, all that nonsense.
Adrenochrome, that's not true. It's C9H9NO3. This is a chemical compound that is absolutely listed. It's been around in modern science since the 1930s. You can actually, there's a synthetic form and there's a regular natural form, which is caused by torturing little kids to get their adrenaline up, essentially, and then extracting it from them.
It's like the tears of kids.
When you sit and meet, and so I brought this up a few years ago, and all of a sudden I was attacked by every media. Look it up. It's there.
He believes that they make a
They
drug.
absolutely went after me.
Yeah.
And the next day, I never heard from my agents. My agency for 14 months.
Well, I got to see this movie now.
My lawyers let me go.
Someone buy me a ticket.
Agency never called me after that. And essentially, I was done.
There's the star of Sound of Freedom, Jim Caviezel, talking about how pedophiles harvest adrenochrome, right? We've talked about it before. It's a QAnon theory. Adrenochrome is a synthetic, right, form of adrenaline. There's no doubt about it. It is a real chemical. He keeps going like, look it up. It's real on the NIH.
Dude, why don't
yes,
they
the
just
chemical is real, Jim.
Why don't they just get all this on Halloween from the kids? Why do they have to rape them?
But no one's harvesting it from kids, you fucking idiot. Yeah. He's done 40 interviews like that. Why the fuck are they saying it's QAnon adjacent?
Pat, that is such scintillating possibilities that I could see why the White House wants to shut something like that up. But they went too far by shutting people like us up, so now they had to let the floodgates open, and Caviezel and everybody else is back in here with the adrenochromes. So
and that's Caviezel now.
Now that we're back on YouTube, live comments are back, and Rad Dad has
Yeah.
a good one. He says, "What is this, Monsters Inc.?"
Anyway,
got him.
Sorry I went long, but the bullshit is astounding, guys. Go watch the movie, like it or not.
Sex trafficking is a huge issue that needs to be stopped, and now I need to see this movie.
But the bullshit is so astounding.
Yeah.
He's convinced.
They're not taking children's adrenaline.
He's convinced that the spreading of the message promoting this movie, you see this movie, it'll bring the issue of child sex trafficking to the forefront, is going to help stop adrenochrome being harvested by elites. Right?
We're going to get a strike on this video just for talking about this subject.
No, we will not, Mark. This is all over YouTube now. Where it's back.
Right. Well, I'm more concerned for the actual just kid sex. You know, the pedophilia.
Of course,
that part to me is the most concerning, and the trafficking. Also,
the reasons behind it, whether the reasons behind it
is also that concern. Those two things concern me. The adrenochrome seems, Pat, I'll give you this, very fake.
Yeah,
like one of the fakest things I've ever heard.
Well, whether these sick rich bastards are buying these kids and to get their rocks off or to get adrenochrome or whatever, it doesn't really matter. They're still buying these kids and torturing and raping.
This is how Pizzagate happened.
I'm anti-Epstein,
like obviously,
but
it's bullshit.
But
the drug thing is bullshit. Obviously, yes.
Yeah.
But
you know what it sounds like in Mad Max when they go chrome.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. What do they say?
It's a real thing. It's just not harvested from captive children. Sorry, I went long.
That's okay.
Oh, you're good.
It's okay because mine was really short, and I'm just gonna make it really short. So Burger King, the worst fast food joint of all time, came up with the craziest fast food item, probably because the freak show needs its freaks to bring in
needs some gas. The freak car needs some fuel.
Yeah. Mark, I was excited to hear your take on this Burger King week, man, because not only are they bringing in freakish items, they did a whole logo rebrand.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, dude, they're on the ropes. They went from that 90s style logo to back to a 70s style logo, but we're in 2023. So
when the Burger King's not $1 for 6 sandwiches anymore, no one's going to eat it because it's the worst possible option.
I'm glad to hear what it is, because I stopped by McDonald's with my pregnant lady maybe 3 weeks ago, and she got a Fanta slushie, and she loved it. So that was great. But we passed a Burger King on the way home, and they have that same menu item. They're copying McDonald's on the drink.
Well, not this menu I'm about to show you. This one you're gonna have to go to Thailand to get. It's called the Real Cheeseburger, and it's just a sesame seed bun with 20 slices of cheese and nothing else in it.
It's a cheese sandwich.
Disgusting.
There's 20 slices of cheese in the middle of 2 buns, dude. It's called the Real Cheeseburger. And
why? It looks. I thought it was just gonna be the slices not melted. It looks even worse melted.
Well, some of them are melted.
Digestion's worst nightmare.
Do you want to see? Yeah, I know exactly, Pat.
You don't shit for a week.
It's a little less expensive for the Real Cheeseburger.
Going to a place you can't shit for a while.
You're gonna spend the rest of the money on an enema that you saved on the cheeseburger.
Going on a boat without a bathroom.
Bring the picture back up. It's literally like a block of Velveeta cheese in between 2.
Dude, no one's ever eaten 20 slices of cheese in one sitting and then had a crap afterwards.
No.
You little bathroom shy, and you headed to camp for 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
That should be illegal, man.
It's all over TikTok. Here's a couple Thailand people sharing their experiences.
Burger King 20 แผ่นในราคา109 บาทซื้อมาแล้วก็ไม่ได้กินหรอกแต่จะเก็บชีสเนี่ยไว้ทำเมนูอื่นเพราะว่า20 แผ่นถูกกว่าซื้อชีสในเซเว่นหรือตามห้างอีก
That's just 20 slices of cheese. That's pretty much it.
No
that's what it looks
condiments on
like.
it either.
No, it's just 20 slices of cheese.
Dry, just how you like it, dry.
Yeah, they didn't show him eating it, obviously.
No,
because nobody eats it.
A lot of people ate it and said, "This is way too intense. This is ridiculous. I won't get it again. I don't like it." A lot of that was going on, but people wanted to try it because it was such a freak show that to the point where they were running out of slices of cheese. Would you believe it or not? At 20 a pop, so they had to start monitoring how many they were giving out.
20 sandwiches worth of cheese in one sandwich, dog.
Exactly. Well, the Whopper doesn't even come with cheese unless you ask for it. So
this
now
is classic Burger King.
Everyone trying to order a regular cheeseburger is shit out of luck because they sold 400 real cheeseburgers.
Do you like to eat like you used to eat when you were in that FEMA camp that one time?
Yeah.
Come on down and get a cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
Did you just take 1,000 milligrams of THC edibles? If so, we've got the sandwich for you. Yeah, I mean, like,
but it could be good if they melted all of it, right? Maybe not that many slices,
if it
but
was like
maybe
the biggest grilled cheese in the
8
world.
slices melted.
No. Live comment from Stephen C. He actually has a good point. Bread it and deep fry it. Gobble gobble. Yeah,
Sure.
you could do it like
but
that.
Deep fry will make it like grilled as well. Like,
But regardless, as live commenter Jared Lindsay says, you'll need an epidural for a poop. You will, because
it's nuts.
Painful, son.
Now
and that's different than an enema. That's another E word thing that you're gonna need to.
No, that's to numb your bottom half, like you're gonna give birth,
and then you're gonna need an extreme enema.
Right,
a plug up your ass that you won't feel.
You need all power wash it.
Yeah, power wash. Yeah. I'll leave you at this. Would you rather have that or Japan's Whopper 7, which is just 7 patties, no cheese? So would you rather have
Whopper
7 patties, burger patties, no cheese, or would you rather have 20 slices of cheese?
Whopper 7, dude. 100%
Whopper
Whopper
7, dude. It looks good. Whopper 7 looks
it's dry.
good,
It's
bro.
dry. It's pretty dry.
It's dry, but that's a challenge, and you could dip it in something. I could dip that. You can't.
I think
there's
I
nothing
think
you
I
could
think I could get
20 slices of cheese.
You could get through this easier than this, but this probably tastes a little bit better. The meat. Yeah.
I'm taking the 7 patties over the 20 cheeses.
What if you
day.
combine the two? What if you got a real cheeseburger from Thailand and
That's
a
a real
Whopper 7
burger.
from Japan, and you? That's a Whopper.
Let me ask you guys this. So
I don't understand either.
cheese sandwiches. If you've ever been evacuated from somewhere, if you've ever been to a shelter, right, like the big storm going on, you've eaten a cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
Traditionally, ketchup is the condiment that they put on the cheese sandwich to make it a little bit less like a cheese sandwich.
Oh, it's fancy.
If you could have only one condiment on this cheese sandwich,
Mayonnaise.
what would be the condiment? Mayonnaise,
Ranch, maybe?
Some are saying mustard.
Spiciness for me. It would have to be like a sriracha or a sriracha aioli, or like something with spiciness, because that's so much cheese. You have to have some other flavor than cheese.
Horseradish.
Horseradish? Nah, it doesn't go with cheese. You gotta go with like a Chipotle style.
Oh, guys, the Jonah Hill accusations are coming out now.
What's happening?
He's just a horrible boyfriend. He's just a horribly possessive boyfriend.
Haven't done the research on this, so don't hold us to this. From the Daily Beast, former Nickelodeon teen Alexa Nicholas has accused actor Jonah Hill of assaulting her when she was 16 in an encounter that Hill's attorneys have called a, quote, complete fabrication. In a series of tweets on Saturday, Nicholas, who is now 31, alleged Hill, he was 24 at the time, then aged 24, quote, slammed her against the door and, quote, shoved his tongue down my throat. That must be a long tongue to be able to do that. As they stepped out of a house party to smoke cigs, she said, quote, I was a child, so I obviously felt scared and angry. She was, I guess, a Zoe 101 star. Okay.
Well, it could be worse. She could be eating a cheese sandwich right now. At least that was in the past for her.
Yeah, she could also be Jonah Hill's ex-girlfriend, who all the people started writing stories about how she dropped those texts like immediately after he announced the birth of his child. And so that can't be fun for his other ex-girlfriend who tried to get back at him, but now kind of looks like an insane person because of when she dropped the text.
Open season on Jonah Hill.
Well, this woman did what I did to Mark when I got caught telling a story about how I shit on someone's car.
Mark
and someone
was there.
said, oh, his brother was there. She continues. She continues, also, hashtag Justin Long. Also, hashtag Justin Long. Why the fuck did you have children at your house late night? Ew. Because I guess it was at Justin Long's house.
Oh, he parties. We saw an Austin party all the time. Justin Long.
Ricochet shot at Long.
Yeah. We know that he gets down for sure. Yeah. We used to see him on Rainy Street. That guy was like a Rainy Street regular for a while, I feel like.
He partied. I'll show you the last couple items. KFC had a cheese donut out there in Indonesia. It's just Swiss and cheddar cheese on top of a donut.
If it's cream cheese filled, I could see it.
It's not. It's just a glazed donut.
No.
Burger King in Japan has a berry burger.
Disgusting.
Yeah. And then
berries on your burger.
Tim Horton decided in 2017 to make a buffalo latte when they moved to New York for the first time. And so they were like, New York buffalo sauce. And it was a buffalo sauce latte that everyone hated. And this one actually looks pretty good. Taco Bell did a Kit Kat quesadilla and still does in Australia. And it's just like, that looks delicious. Kit Kat quesadilla. That's sweet and salty. That's what you want. That's what you want. Kit Kat.
That's the best one you showed, Mark.
That's the best one.
Honestly, the Whopper 7 and the Kit Kat quesadilla. Those are the only ones I'd even.
Burger King 7 looks good.
Burger King on the list of the craziest items when you Google it, by far the most. They had they dye their burgers. They did the Halloween one.
It's because
Burger King has to do something crazy,
right?
Not a lot.
As you know, they're the most desperate, Mark.
They are.
And you know, you've had your finger on the pulse of that for a while. So
They go for gasps over there at Burger King, and that's the show. Let's bring up the wheel.
Yeah, let me grab that thing real quick.
Oh.
Wheel time. Yeah. Burger King. Always having to send in the car.
What's like the worst TV show with like they're like the like what was the show that like went way out too far for a while with like freak shows? That's like Burger King. Like
when they did Nip Tuck?
Maybe like MTV back in the day before they reeled it in. They're like, I'm trying to think of like a show that had just extremely weird shows on.
Oh, like
channel.
TLC.
Yeah, like a TLC. They went like a little freak show. Yeah, like 700-pound sisters and stuff.
Yeah, like you don't need a whole series about dudes with gigantic testicles.
Yeah,
but they had that.
Yeah, they were Burger King and TLC.
Yeah, my 31-pound sack.
my 30-pound sack while you're eating a 20-slice cheeseburger.
Elephantitis Nightmare, brought to you by the A1 Thick and Juicy Burger.
Exactly.
These guys aren't afraid of anything.
Burger King spent so much advertising money on TLC shows.
Yeah, this is this is a cast you don't want to mouth off to. These guys have huge balls.
Yeah.
Debilitatingly huge balls.
Yeah, they can't even get up.
Here we go. Cup of coffee tomorrow.
Oh, it's close. Is it going to get to Wes? Is it going to get to Wes?
Oh, it did.
Oh. Damn, he's not going to like watching that one back.
Wes is back in the hot seat after only one day of getting a break from reading all of those stories with the focus that he's had.
And great news, Rad Dad said that Wes did get in the Discord. He got a message out saying that we are going to start a lottery pool now that it's over the 700 million. So we're in business.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm. He said, but his Venmo is fucked because of some asshole groom. So
yeah, that's true. He's off Venmo. He got banned from Venmo, which is Wes and drug dealers. Story. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so we'll find out.
Find out tomorrow. Why Wes is
another asshole groom, huh?
How did he have the power to get him off Venmo? Anyways, get out there.
Me somehow.
Get out there and have a great fucking day. Does he work for Venmo?